Alrighty, so March IT Proprietary Limited is now trading as MarchNet. So we have rebranded because quite a long time ago we stopped doing, sorry, that is automatically running through, which it shouldn't. Are you guys able to fix that up? Okay, I'll just do my thing on the first slide until that all gets sorted, that's fine. Don't read ahead. Okay, so MarchNet, we're a telecommunications carrier. We have been for a number of years. We began our life doing IT managed services, and the elephant in the room while we were doing managed IT services was that 95% of our revenue came from telecommunications services, and only 5% was from looking after printers and laptops and servers and that sort of thing. So we made the choice to rebrand as MarchNet so that we could carry the name forward but actually tell people what we do. We do networks. We create value by connecting people in regional and remote places. As an ACMA licensed telecommunications carrier, we design and deliver quality, timely and affordable telecommunications services. We enhance the effectiveness and the productivity of our clients in remote and challenging locations where 3G and satellite services provide expensive and poor solutions. And we are passionate about reducing the impact of isolation from family, friends and head office by providing reliable telecommunications to regional and remote places. We believe we set the benchmark for remote connectivity solutions and consistently exceed client expectations. We've got over 20 years of experience in IT and telecommunications industry, and we deliver solutions which cater to our clients' needs. We understand the impacts of being separated, and it's at our core to keep your staff connected. I'll go off script for a bit just to thank the guys previous. That was so. This is our setup, and what you guys have done there is just is beautiful to see. We'll talk a bit about what we've done for Stanbroke at their feedlot shortly. Very similar, but we're coming at it from a different end. So we don't do the sensors, we don't do the farming side of things. We do the connectivity, which enables you to do what you guys do. So that particular telecommunications tower, that's 40 metres. That's quite a bit larger than this one. Those are 1.2 metre dishes at the top there. This is the part about creating a telecommunications network where Telstra, the NBN, have not. So MarchNet owns and operates that facility to deliver high-speed internet throughout the regions where all you've got access to is an NBN satellite service or some very poor quality 3 or 4G services. So with the reliance of business on data connectivity ever increasing, I believe the number is 60% year on year. So every year your requirement for data goes up by 60%. So the numbers you were saying earlier about 400 to 500 gigabytes for a medium to large business, well that will be even larger next year. It'll be something like 800 gigabytes a month. It's no longer an option to put up with coverage black spots. So businesses with large outdoor areas need a cost-effective way to connect staff and infrastructure to central management systems. So the graph on Telstra's coverage throughout the country has been up a couple of times already on slides today, but that gives you a picture of where the challenges are. Well, you now have access to reliable high-speed telecommunication services at your remote site. And if you run a farm, feedlot or processing facility outside of town, you can access fit-for-purpose high-speed services that don't slow down at peak times. Once you have a service delivered to your site, you then have the option of redistributing that service around the site with wide area Wi-Fi networks. And if you have a number of staff houses or quarters, field offices, assets, connect these into the one service so that you can save cost and increase productivity rather than having separate satellite services or separate modems with SIM cards around the place. So access to reliable telecommunications enables improved productivity, to access information in real time and respond to risks quickly, enhance safety by extending mobile networks, to allow staff to contact or to be contactable around the site at all times. Scalability, in order to support the growing demand for technology and farming. Mobility, accessing real-time data kilometres away from the office. And certainty, so unlimited data allowances, which is what you guys referred to earlier, unlimited data allowances to review information and improve operations, even on the school holidays when the kids are back on the farm. So Stanbroke's Chinchilla Feedlot. So this is on the Western Downs. They recently received approval from the Regional Council to expand from 25,000 to 40,000 head. And with these new modern facilities designed to meet rigorous environmental standards, communications and supporting technology needed to match that infrastructure and ensure long-term outcomes for the property. So Stanbroke requested that Marchnet create a solution for a Wi-Fi network to facilitate their expanding data needs, fulfilling the outcome to connect their assets in the paddock to the office and the homesteads to enable remote monitoring and management capabilities. So this particular network that they requested was 50 megabits, and 6 homesteads and an office. Previously, without the Marchnet service, the only available data service to them was through Telstra's 3G network from Chinchilla. So the actual feedlot is behind a hill at 30 kilometres from Chinchilla. So they were getting pretty unreliable services. They had a very marginal signal. It slowed down during peak periods in the morning and in the afternoon, and dropped out completely for days on end sometimes. Chinchilla also was in the middle of a coal seam gas boom, so 6,000 coal seam gas workers were on their doorstep oversubscribing that network as well. So very frustrating for them, and they just weren't able to operate their business effectively. So the focus of this project with MLA and Stanbroke was to show how solar-powered repeater sites, along with point-to-point and point-to-multipoint microwave, could benefit Stanbroke and the red meat industry as a whole from the carriage point of view, so from the delivery of services into the sites. Once we give them connectivity, what will they do with it? How can we support them to make their businesses better? So the internet service is delivered through fibre from Chinchilla. So Chinchilla is 30 kilometres this way, as I said, and the tower that was in the previous slide is based on the hill here in the northeast of the property. This is the solar setup that's there. It's a 40-metre guide lattice mast, and it supports quite a lot of infrastructure in the region. So we've got we're not using NBN or terrestrial existing commercial networks in town. We actually come off one of the power networks, and it's a dedicated one-to-one service in Chinchilla. So that type of thing is not equivalent to your NBN or ADSL type of service. It's several $1,000s a month for the bandwidth. So the way to make that cost effective is then to split that out amongst many producers and other businesses. So as a carrier, we buy that wholesale in Chinchilla, and we build this network to split it out and service the community. The internet, from this repeater tower. So from the repeater tower, you can see the orange is the point-to-multipoint broadcast network. So that the link from Chinchilla to the tower is a licensed microwave service. It's a licensed point-to-point microwave service that's capable of about 350 megabits per second. So fibre into Chinchilla, one-to-one, 350 megabits to this hill here. From there, we use a class-licensed microwave network, which is the fancy way of saying it's free. You don't have to register the spectrum. It uses 5 gigahertz, which is similar to the Wi-Fi network described before by Origo. The service is delivered by us with a 99.9% service level agreement, although it is engineered to achieve 99.99% uptime. In reality, we do see that it drops out for only a few seconds of outage in the heaviest of rain events. and services recover automatically and immediately after the rain eases. So that network is owned and operated by MuchNet, and we use it to deliver high-speed internet services. So it means that Stanbroke did not have to pay for all of that infrastructure, or the costs, or the full costs of maintenance of the system to that repeater tower. The wide area Wi-Fi installed beyond that uses Cambium Networks equipment. So subscriber modules like this one here are placed on the roof of the admin building where the office is, and also on homestead roofs. So a small roof mount cabled into Wi-Fi indoor or outdoor at each of those points. And a single sector antenna has the capacity to deliver 100 megabits per second to dozens of services like this one. They do work on line of sight. So if you have got hills in the road, then you need to put something like this tower here on top of the hill with a small solar-powered system, and you can repeat them as many times as you like. They don't lose capacity on repeating. And a unit like that one can connect 20 to 30 kilometres away from a central tower. So long as you have line of sight, you can go vast different distances. If you need to go more than that, we go to larger dishes. Or if you need to put more speed than that, we go to larger dishes. So there are ways to go 60, 70 kilometres, again, so long as you have line of sight. The power consumption is quite low, so they run happily on solar. And the worst performing client subscriber module, so or house or office, has an availability of 99.9983%, which means on average month there's approximately 45 seconds of service degradation. So the interesting stuff. When we began working with Stanbroke and with MLA, there was a bit of doubt as to what the network would be used for, and you referred to it earlier on. You've worked hard. You can, it shouldn't be up to anybody else to decide what you use the network on. In reality, what we are actually seeing is that it's not predominantly Netflix. So the usage here is from midnight to midnight, and so you can see that there is a good spread early in the morning. People wake up, check emails and whatnot, and then it's used through the day, and this here is the spike in the evening. So there is some usage in the evening, data downloads for entertainment and whatnot, but the great thing is, for Stanbroke, is that they can show that there's actually a business return on investment here. They haven't got their staff watching Netflix. It's not the Netflix program, which is great. The bottom graph is daily usage peaks over a 3-month period. And what we're being told by Stanbroke is that the network has allowed them to access data and control their existing systems from any of the property offices and homestead, and that visibility across the operation has had immediate benefits. So a bit more technical data. So the types of usage, the reason that we can see that it's not Netflix is the 71% of the usage is actually HTTP, HTTPS, so web browsing, access to cloud-based systems and that sort of thing. RTP is the real-time protocols, where you would expect to see entertainment, video streaming, and whatnot, and telephony, that sort of thing. So the data usage shows that both download usage in green and upload usage in blue. And the graph highlights as the majority of usage is download and steady across the period. There were a number of days during this period where usage was very high, which demonstrates that what is possible. We're seeing that the typical usage is about 450 gigabytes per month. So again, it aligns with what you guys have heard already today. So what is Stanbroke using it for? So remote access and controls, remote access to Stanbroke's private network across their property, remote monitoring of critical operational control points, instant telemetry data for irrigation operations, which has reduced the frequency and length of breakdown times for them. So that is something that is a measurable cost benefit for them that's come already. And that's drastically reduced their water usage, water wastage. It's also increasing equipment uptime. So staff safety and security, live data collection and information transfer. They also were able to, so they've decided to use cloud-based services, not for data storage, but actually their own cloud-based servers in a data center, which means that they didn't need to purchase equipment for on-farm, which has saved them tens of thousands of dollars on server infrastructure. They now rent that by the glass and use that in a data center. So the feedback has been very positive. They've got a number of cost benefits already, and we are already working with them on the next stage of expansion as well. So I am going to rush forward a little bit. So the next stage for them is increasing mobility, increased coverage. Okay, all right. We'll call that a day there, and I look forward to catching up with you further.
That says time's up.
Yeah.